Thousands of people are in the dark tonight in a response to strong gusty winds. Northern Colorado seeing the brunt of the storm. This is what the streets looked like in Wellington today after the gusts toppled some trees. The strong winds leading XL to pull the plug on thousands of customers in northern Colorado because of the high fire risk. Right now, there are about 7,500 customers without power. At one point, that number was more than 20,000. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night. I'm Alexandra Lewis. The worst of the weather may be behind us, but the wind is still swirling in parts of the state. Let's get to meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen with more on the conditions tonight. Hi, Corey.
Hey, Alex. Yeah, you know, those winds, the big ones, have really diminished quite a bit. So we're looking at a calmer night here going into the rest of the evening. But the big damage is kind of already done. We've had trees toppled, semi-trucks blown over, houses damaged with the roof stops. These are the top wind gusts that we saw today. 79 miles per hour in Buckeye, 78 in Virginia Dale. Both of these places, communities in Larimer County. None is in Weld County. And really, we had 60 to 70 mile per hour winds spread out all across the Northeast Plains, Northern Front Range. These are the current wind gusts, though. Big diminishing here. We have the DIA sensor is even calm at the moment. 21 miles per hour here in Fort Collins. So the winds have diminished greatly. Tomorrow, they'll still be around, but not as bad. Here are the Denver Broncos game, the playoff game. We could experience some 15 mile per hour wind gusts every once in a while. Cool temperatures, and the winds will lower those just a little bit, and full sunshine as we go all the way across the day. But don't be deceived, it will be a cold day. And here's your next 3 days in North Denver for the National Western Stock Show. We could have some flurries, maybe even some snow accumulation on Monday morning. So I'll talk about that in the forecast in just a few minutes.
Corey, thanks. While the powerful winds tore across the state today, northern Colorado saw the brunt of it, knocking out power and forcing school evacuation in Weld County. As we speak, thousands of XL customers are still without power tonight. 9 News reporter Rhea Jaw has more from Keensburg.
The wind out here is no joke. It was so powerful it damaged the roof of this middle school here in Keensburg, and tonight crews are still working to see when it will be safe enough for students to come back. Peak wind gusts hitting 69 miles per hour here in Keensburg, with 60 mile per hour gusts consistent from about noon until 4:30. Right in the middle of that, around 2 o'clock, Weld Central Middle School parents got an alert that students and staff were being evacuated because of building safety concerns tied to the high winds. The school district says those gusts damaged the roof on the north end of the school's gym. They know there's cracking along the roof line and said nothing actually came off the building, but at this point, they're still working to figure out how extensive that damage really is. More importantly, no one was hurt. As a precaution, students were moved just a few feet away to Weld Central High School, which shares the same campus, and then dismissed from there. These same winds are what led Xcel Energy to preemptively shut off power across parts of northern Colorado. According to Xcel's outage map, many customers in Weld and Larimer County are still without power tonight. Some from the planned public safety shutoffs, others from wind-related damage outside of those areas. In a statement, Xcel says most customers should see power restored by Friday night, and for those who don't, restoration could extend into Saturday as crews continue inspections and repairs once conditions are safe. According to the CDOT weather station down here, winds are expected to stay around 20 to 30 miles per hour tonight into tomorrow. Xcel did say that 4,000 customers have power back as of 6:30 p.m., but around 7,000 customers are still without power tonight. Xcel is asking customers to report outages or damaged lines to help them speed up that restoration process. Reporting in Keensburg, Rhea Jaw, 9 News.
Some parts of northern Colorado were hit with unexpected outages. This impacted business in Wellington. They lost business for at least half the day. The manager of the Wellington Grill, Blair Patterson, says the restaurant lost power during the lunch hour.
We were in the unplanned part, so we have no idea when it'll come back on. We can't do anything because we can't have like our hood vents on or anything like that, so we can't really cook anything. She's
also worried about business tomorrow, especially with the Broncos and the Nuggets playing. Well, in cases of high wind or fire danger, Xcel has a fail-safe option on top of the company's planned power shutoffs. A professor at the Colorado School of Mines says Xcel's lines have reclosers, which can stop the flow of electricity where there's a fault. When the fault clears, the company will try to open and reclose quickly to restore electricity. It works much like a circuit breaker in your own home. But when there is strong wind, the reclosers can set to be more sensitive and they won't automatically reopen if a tree falls on them. Although it is a good tool, experts say it may not work quickly enough to prevent a fire.
It's not that fast because whenever it touched, it already, it's maybe a little bit too late. So it depends on the environment as well. The technology is not that like 100% guarantee for this.
Experts believe Xcel can't just rely on these reclosers and sensitive lines during extreme weather events. DPD is asking for your help tonight finding a missing 12-year-old. Police say Addie Williford was last seen today in the area of East Florida Avenue and South Birch Street. She was wearing green pants, cowboy boots, and an unknown shirt. If you see Addie, please call the number on your screen. Denver police are searching for a man accused of attacking and trying to kidnap a woman jogging near Wash Park last week. What happened has runners in the area on edge and taking safety precautions. 9 News reporter Colton Chavez brings us that story.
Like I ran today at noon alone, and I thought I was fine because it's noon on a Friday in Wash Park, and maybe I'm not actually safe at that time.
A violent attack and attempted kidnapping of a woman jogging near Wash Park has runners rethinking when and where they feel safe.
We just want to run safely and not feel like we're at risk of getting assaulted. That shouldn't be a big ask.
Denver police say they're searching the area for a man in connection with an attack on January 7th that happened on South Grant Street near the park. The suspect is described as black, in his 20s, about 6 feet tall, with short dreadlocks or an afro, and was wearing a white or light-colored jacket with gray or dark sweatpants.
I have a light-up vest with reflection on it. I have pepper spray that I'm carrying with me all the time. I bought pepper spray for a couple of my friends.
Callie Cavey belongs to a club that runs near Wash Park every week. Callie's friend Sarah had a man expose himself to her while on a run at Wash Park back in November. We asked DPD if the two crimes could be connected, but were told, quote, that is all under investigation at this time.
That's still really terrifying that someone is comfortable fully attacking someone.
Police are asking people to stay on the lookout.
We're just people who are trying to get exercise after work.
While runners at Wash Park look out for each other.
There was a big conversation among a lot of the girls in the run club of, okay, everyone needs to post when they're running, try to find a buddy.
In Denver, Colton Chavez, 9 News.
Anyone with information related to the attack from last week is asked to reach out to Denver Crime Stoppers. That information can be found on our website, 9news.com. We're going to bring in our audience from KTVD Channel 20 here in just a moment, following the end of the Avalanche's matchup against the Nashville Predators. So we're going to pause just for a moment to welcome them in, take a live look outside. Well, thank you for joining us here for 9 News at 10. I'm Alexandra Lewis. Glad to have you with us on this Friday night. We're learning that a second person shot in Denver during a celebration of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's capture has died. Denver police say 4 people were shot in a parking lot near South Galena Street and East Hampton Avenue on January 3rd. A 16-year-old boy died that day, while a 26-year-old man died just a few days later. 2 other men were also shot and went to the hospital on their own. Police have yet to update us on their condition. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office is asking for help tonight tracking down a car involved in a road rage shooting this morning. Deputies say a suspect in this black sedan reportedly fired shots at a silver Dodge Charger near Quebec Street and Wildcat Ridge before taking off in an unknown direction. An investigation determined the shooting stemmed from a road rage encounter that started near Lincoln Avenue and Quebec Street. The victim wasn't hurt, and the investigation is still ongoing. If you have any maybe dash cam video or any other information about what happened here, contact Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. An Adams County deputy is in intensive care after being shot 5 times at an apartment complex in North Denver. Deputies responded to a disturbance call involving weapons at a Caraway apartment complex that's right on Broadway early this morning. The deputy was shot while trying to contact the possible suspects. The sheriff's office says another person was shot and taken to the hospital where they later died. The sheriff's office believes everybody involved in the shooting is in custody tonight. Still no word on what they're being charged for.